For more on what is actually happening in the Amazon, I'm joined by Moira Birss. She's a finance campaign director for Amazon Watch, which is an advocacy group trying to protect the rainforest. Let me start with just the sort of top line as a group that works to protect the Amazon of why are these fires happening? Why is it so bad this year?
Well, first of all, thanks so much for having me and for bringing this really important issue to your audience attention. These fires actually appear to have been started by farmers who farm in areas of previously deforested Amazon. They apparently started these fires both to clear more land for agribusiness, but also as a sort of homage or a signal to Bolsonaro that they were hearing his calls to open the Amazon for business, that they were hearing his calls that the Amazon should be raised for profit making. And so they were answering his call.
Wait, so this, I mean, the year-over-year data is crazy on this, right? Where this is a huge increase year-over-year. So what you're saying is that, like, this is the policy playing out. These are people taking the signal from Bolsonaro and setting the fires themselves to clear land. That is there's evidence of that?
Yeah, so several Brazilian news outlets have went to this region and interviewed these farmers, and they're quoted as saying that they did this to clear land for agribusiness and inspired by Bolsonaro and his rhetoric.
What are the stakes here for folks that are watching this? I think everyone viscerally is horrified. I think we all grew up hearing about the Amazon and deforestation. The first time I was in the Amazon and I saw a part that had been deforested and chopped down, I was like sort of blown away. How important is this from a climate perspective?
This is extremely important from a climate perspective. You referenced in your opening remarks the ways that rainforests and really dense tropical rainforests like the Amazon serve two climate protection purposes. They both absorb carbon when they are standing, and so the destruction, whether by logging or fires, eliminates that possibility of their carbon absorption. But also when they're cut down or burned, they release more carbon dioxide. All that carbon dioxide that they've been storing, they release that into the atmosphere. So it's a double whammy for the climate.
There's been a 77% increase from the same period in 2018, almost 40,000 fires. Two things from the president of Brazil. Bolsonaro has blamed the NGOs, and he hasn't specified which, but I imagine perhaps Amazon Watch is one of them, for what's happening. Do you have a response to that?
Well, as I said earlier, there's a clear admission from Bolsonaro supporters that they're the ones that started this. And I think it's really indicative of the kind of rhetoric that Bolsonaro uses. He himself has, from the day one of his campaign, made clear that he wants to see the Amazon burned down or torn down and opened up for mining and agribusiness. And so it's really just preposterous. And as you mentioned earlier, reminiscent of the kinds of flip-flopping that President Trump uses to hide the ridiculous remarks that he makes.
Are there things, final question, are there things the international community or people that are watching this right now and feeling that feeling of sort of like impotent sorrow can do?
Yes, definitely. And I really recognize that feeling of impotence. I'm feeling it myself. And our office has been flooded with phone calls and emails of people wanting to help and wanting to jump in airplanes and help put out the fires. And that's a really admirable and understandable feeling. Unfortunately, those of us here in the States and around the world, regular citizens or small NGOs like Amazon Watch, we can't go hop in a plane and put out fires, both logistically, but also because that's the responsibility of the Brazilian government. But there is a lot that we can do. The Bolsonaro administration right now has more or less carte blanche to continue with these policies of rolling back protections on the rainforest because agribusiness industry and its financiers are continuing to buy and continuing to invest in Amazon agribusiness and mining. Amazon Watch did research just this spring that traced those supply chains and traced the financial flows into the agribusiness industry in the Brazilian Amazon. And we need to be holding those companies accountable.
Amazon Watch is the organization where you can find that information. Moira Birss, thank you very much.
Thank you.